So, in a shock announcement today, Ubisoft is canceling the long-awaited Division Heartland, a game announced back in 2021, touted as a free-to-play multiplayer survival action shooter set in a fictional Middle America. Say that 5 times fast. It was being developed by Red Storm Entertainment. Oh, my dear sweet Red Storm. And it was originally supposed to be released in late 2021, early 2022, and with a series of delays and closed tests, the game just never really came to fruition. It felt a lot like X-Defiant's development, although a bit more shrouded in mystery due to the various NDAs during testing. And when I played it last year, for the small slice we got, I could actually see potential there. You know, it being free to play kind of gets people into the Division, but with rumors swirling that Division 3 was also in development, it felt like a game that would just get swallowed up by its main franchise counterpart. But for the people who don't want to pay Ubisoft full price, you know, it's a nice entry point to the franchise. Now, I know a lot of people are shocked. I myself am a bit surprised because we saw them anchor themselves to Skull and Bones and drag that corpse to the finish line after 10 years. And when I played the game last year, Division Heartland felt pretty far along. So to cancel it this far into development, at least 4 years, definitely a surprise, definitely a big waste of money. But I'm sure Ubisoft is going to find a way to reuse a lot of the work there in Division 3, things like art, sounds, and whatever else. In reality, if you've been following along, Ubisoft has actually been canceling a lot of projects recently. Last year, Project Q, which as far as we know was a battle arena game, canceled. Immortals Phoenix Rising 2, canceled. Ghost Recon Frontlines, canceled, as well as a few unannounced titles that were canceled late last year. And we have other games that have been in development hell for a long time. Games like X-Defiant that is finally releasing at the end of the month here. Games like Beyond Good and Evil 2, which we don't know what the fuck's going on there. But all of these games were canceled last year due to Ubisoft not wanting to make too many games at once. This announcement shocks me more so because we're only a few short weeks away from Ubisoft Forward and the other showcases that obviously happened in early June. And this year is probably the first year in a long time I've been looking forward to Ubisoft Forward because of what we saw with the Ubisoft Toronto socials. If they're anything to go by, earlier this year, they updated their Twitter avatar and banner to look like this, meaning chances are we're going to be getting our first look at the Splinter Cell remake that has been long in development for the last few years, and I'm actually excited for that. As I'm recording this video, we're also seeing leaks coming through, and now Ubisoft has actually confirmed that the next Assassin's Creed game is called Assassin's Creed Shadows, and it's going to be set in a feudal Japan. And from what I'm seeing around the discussions of that one, every game journalist from Legacy Media is readying every Gamergate hashtag they can fucking find at this point. But dialing back to the whole Ubisoft canceling all of these projects controversy, and now we have another one to throw onto the pile. Normally I would say that this is a bad thing. And I mean, obviously I feel for the developers. I mean, Christ almighty, Red Storm working on that game for 4 years or whatever it has been, just to have it be fucking canceled, like, that's got to be gut-wrenching. But if you listen to what Ubisoft said last year in the midst of all of those cancellations, they said that they're making too many games at once and they want to focus on the IPs that are going to bring them, you know, longevity. And even with the Division Heartland being canceled, when you look at all the articles, I'm reading one off of IGN here, they want to focus on bigger opportunities such as X-Defiant and Rainbow Six. And I also want to note here, keyword guys, Rainbow Six and not Rainbow Six Siege. They're talking about trimming the fat, cutting all of these off-brand games that they're not quite sure how they're going to be received, and focus on the IPs that they care about. X-Defiant, I'll be honest with you guys, I'm not the biggest X-Defiant rider. I'm going to see what the game's like at launch. Give it a real fucking shot. I haven't really enjoyed any of my time in any of those beta tests, but when the game launches, we'll see what they have. Games like Rainbow Six, the announcement of the new Assassin's Creed we saw last year, they're investing heavily into Assassin's Creed. They're probably canceling the Division Heartland for exactly the reason I thought. Like, if Division 3 is actually in development, this game is irrelevant. We know there's a new Ghost Recon being developed right now. We might actually hear more about that at Ubisoft Forward, I'm not sure. But so realistically, what this is for Ubisoft is kind of a turning point and them trying to restructure and focus on the games that A, probably make them money, and B, have enough of a player base that they're actually going to thrive in the long term. And like, for me, that is probably the way they should have been running this the entire time. On top of that, just a few weeks ago, back in April, there was a rumor going around from a prominent Ubisoft leaker who is named Jonathan on Twitter. He says the underwhelming commercial performance of Watch Dogs Legion has led Ubisoft to cancel several projects related to that franchise, leaving Watch Dogs dead and buried. And I have to say, that's another one that, like, even with all the launch controversy about the downgrades from the trailers to the game itself, I do think that Watch Dogs, at least the first one, was a pretty good game, all things considered. And then obviously the next one, the quality level dips, and then fucking Legion, I wasn't even going to touch it because it looked like trash, and I think a lot of people felt the same way. But according to this guy, he says the in-development projects for Watch Dogs included a fairly original Battle Royale title, suggesting that Ubisoft was exploring new directions for Watch Dogs. So it's essentially like Ubisoft was just like, all right, take every franchise we have, throw a fucking Battle Royale into it, and then just see what sticks. And I think that the reception to all of these off-brand bullshit-ass games has made Ubisoft realize that this isn't what your fan base wants. And like, I'll be honest, I have been one of the biggest proponents for Ubisoft trimming the fat and getting back to what works. And what works is making good games for IPs and franchises that people actually care about. And it kind of sounds like that's maybe what is happening. I don't want to see another Rainbow Six Extraction fucking off-brand thing. I don't want to see a Watch Dogs Battle Royale. I don't want to see a Ghost Recon Battle Royale. I don't want to see a Splinter Cell Battle Royale. I don't want to see all of this bullshit that just muddies the waters for the IPs that you guys already have. Just make good games, make sequels, tell stories. That's what we grew up playing Ubisoft titles for. And I think that this Ubisoft Forward is probably the first time that they can live up to the word forward. We are forward thinking, but it's funny, as you're forward thinking, what people are actually asking for is to go back to what made you successful in the first place. In order to move forward, you have to remember the past so that you don't continually make the same mistakes. And I really hope that that is the theme of Ubisoft Forward 2024. As far as I'm aware, it's happening June 10th, 2024. I will be live over on Twitch watching this showcase, the Xbox and Bethesda showcase, and whatever ones pop up that I actually give a shit about, I'm going to be over there watching alongside you guys, and we're going to see where Ubisoft is actually positioning themselves to move into what I'm kind of deeming as like a new era of Ubisoft, a new mentality, a new outlook on the games that they're making. I want to remain hopeful. I really fucking do. And I think that even though I'm really saddened for the people who worked on Division Heartland for the last 3-4 years, I hope that this inevitably leads to a stronger Ubisoft if they have the right mentality for making their fucking games. That's really what it comes down to. And if you want to focus more on XDefiant, and if you think XDefiant is going to be a winner, I personally don't. I know Rainbow Six is carrying you guys in terms of the multiplayer space. Invest more there. That makes sense to me. And we'll see what happens. Let me know what you guys think down below. My name is Big Fry. I'm sorry I haven't uploaded in the last week. I've just been dealing with a pretty significant family emergency. And I'm back, and I'm hoping to get more content. Let me know your guys' thoughts down below. Leave a like on the video, subscribe for more content, and I'll see you on the next one.